Hello everybody, and welcome to another one of our leadership training videos. Now, in these leadership training videos, I just walk you through some of the skills, traits and abilities that you need to become a more effective leader, what leadership is about as well, what experiences I have had which have helped me to get to where I am today in terms of my own life and my own career. My name is Chris Igwe. I have over 35 years experience leading, training and developing teams across Europe, Middle East and Africa, and primarily in 5 major markets in Europe where I've worked and managed teams. Feel free to like, comment and share and subscribe to the channel so you know when other videos are becoming available. Now, in these short videos, I just take you through a few ideas that are going to help you just connect with and understand some of the components of leadership which either you've experienced or you've seen in others, and that can help you on your own journey. So today we're going to talk about brain power. Brain power. Very simple idea, very simple concept. You probably know this in terms of left brain and right brain. Now, I guess before I get going, there are those who kind of argue about left brain, right brain, whether being dominant in one aspect or the other is significant in terms of leadership. That's not where I want to go. Like I said, I'm always about what I have learned and my own experience. If you want to do research for yourself on this aspect, then please feel free to do so. But essentially, it breaks down, if you like, into 2 broad areas of your brain, the right brain and the left brain, in terms of how we as human beings function. Now, the right brain individuals are essentially those who are considered more creative. They have more emotional being, connection. They have more imagination. They have more sensitivity. And they are more aware, whether spatially or conceptually or whatever. So these are kind of some of the key components of a right brain thinker. On the other hand, you have those who are more left brain. And the left brain individuals are considered in the terms of being logical, for example, having more reasoning faculties and abilities, having a more structured approach to the way in which they do things and see things, how they see the world, more practical, and perhaps more linear as well. So there's kind of a thought process that continues one step after the other. Now, inevitably, which is why I started with that, there are different views on this. At the end, I will share with you where I personally intersect with what I'm sharing here, but it's more about the way in which people behave. And if you look around in your team or your department or your colleagues, you will find and can then say, this person is more creative than I am, or I'm more creative than that person is. It's not a judgment, it's not a comparison. It is simply a statement of the way in which people behave. It's the same as when people learn, for example, those who are watching this may prefer to listen to it rather than watch, because that's the way in which they take in information. Everybody behaves in a very different way, which is why communication, which I've talked about in a previous video, is really important. To give you an idea of those categories, because that may have just been interesting, but you're trying to link it to who is it we're talking about. Well, if we continue on the right brain, these are probably people who are architects, who are designers, who are musicians, who are artists, and who are therapists. On the other hand, those who are more left brain functioning could be considered as engineers, mathematicians, accountants, lawyer, computer programmer. Again, think about the things that I said before about linear, about structured, and then on this side about creativity, imagination, awareness. And I guess what's interesting here, just from my own personal experience, is this is where my wife is. She's a midwife and a therapist, working with energy. So she's very sensitive, creative, and she does lots of arts and crafts. At Christmas, she does creations of all sorts, whether going and getting flowers and making her own flower arrangement or making beads. So she's very, very creative. She's a therapist. She feels and understands in her healing process. Whereas I'm on this side. I'm more of an engineer or civil engineer, as I have been. And really, so there's a kind of a complementarity, if you like, in terms of our marriage and our relationship. So just look at this and see if any of this resonates with where you are. Clearly, there are a million things that we as human beings have or do as jobs, and each year there's something new that we didn't know about. But you may say, well, okay, that's great, but what do I do with it? Well, I guess what I'm trying to say to you and to share is that firstly, when you are in a leadership role, you need to recognize, because remember, you're here to inspire, motivate, and lead people. If you cannot recognize the signs or the modus operandi of each individual, how they work, how they think, how they function, it's going to be different to cross that bridge to see how you can help them. So the first is to recognize in yourself, if you are right brain or left brain, what about the others? What about you? So where do you stand, first of all? What is your thinking process? How do you assess information? How do you output information? And what about the others? How do they perform? So similarly, when you're looking at a team, because a team cannot be made up of people who all look alike, behave in the same way, and act in the same way. You need people who challenge, who disrupt. Maybe that's more of a right brain thinker, but that could be a left brain as well. So it's not about segregating. So recognize it in yourself. Like I said, it's many steps. Where do you start for your own? Explore how you can bridge that gap. So again, coming back to my case, where my wife is more of a right brain thinker and operator, and I'm more of a left brain, over the years, we've sought to bridge the gap. There are things where she would say something, I had no clue what she was talking about, and I would say something and she had no clue what I was talking about, because our thinking processes were very different. And over time, we've learned, and we both have the balance of the skills. I have as much creativity as she has discipline and organization and structure, but we've worked on that together. So explore the bridging of the gap. Where are the gaps and how do you bridge them? Then just keep practicing each time. And I'll show you in a minute some of the ideas or suggestions to help to bridge this gap in here. So keep on practicing, and then acquire the skill that maybe you don't have, but you know will help you to improve your awareness, your understanding, your ability to lead or motivate other people as a leader. So like I said, it's really about mini steps. There's no great jump, but it's important to recognize these. So I always like to be as concrete as I can. So here are a couple of examples. So if, for example, you are a left brain thinker, okay, remember, structured, organized, logical, think about learning a language other than your own, a new language, a different language. Yes, it's going to be maybe challenging initially. Maybe it'll take time. Maybe you say, oh, I don't have any language skills. Well, you're telling your brain you don't have any language skills. Change the messaging. Say, I would like to learn a language. Then your brain will start to open up to the idea. So learn a language, learn a musical instrument if you're not that way inclined, learn to draw, take a flip chart like this or a piece of paper, learn to draw, or get a book to help you learn how to draw as well. Even just cooking, because cooking is a creative process. You have to put the ingredients together. Yes, you follow a cookbook, but you learn and you become more open to the idea. What I want you to do is have the thoughts that open up to give you ideas, and you could then fill this with lots of different ways. And then the other side, if you're a right brain thinker, maybe you don't like linear thinking, you don't like structure, although there are many that do. Like I say, my wife can do many of these. I don't think she can prepare a business plan, and she has no fun reading a spreadsheet, but plan the day or plan an event. And that day could be anything, just start with little steps. Plan a day, step by step, the structure in your business, in your life. Prepare a business plan. Many people don't like or don't know how to put a business plan together. I'm not saying do it from scratch, not knowing what the key elements are, but maybe ask somebody to give you the key elements. Then you start with that and you fill in the numbers. Maybe that's part of a spreadsheet. You fill in the numbers and you see what they're going to look like. How much you want to earn at the end of a given month, how many contracts you have, how many clients, what is your expectation. That's how you build up a business plan. Not a lot of fun for people. There are those who just don't enjoy doing it. Like I say, my wife is kind of down here, but there are other things where she's incredibly structured and incredibly organized. She could plan a day or an event in a heartbeat because that's what she does. So really take these ideas, expand them in your own world, in your own life, see how they can fit in. But the message that I want to leave you with is that whether you're a left brain or right brain or right brain or left brain, thinker or processor, it doesn't matter. The important thing is Once you learn that maybe that is the way you most function, you become more tolerant of others who don't perform or think or act in the same way, because that's leadership. It's your ability to spot the skills in individuals and bring them out and make them really flourish. So make that person even better in what they do. But even better than that, ask them what they would like to learn or achieve or become. And that is way more amazing for them, and it is for you as well as a leader. So I hope this has left you with some ideas and thoughts. Please feel free to like, share and comment. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you know when other videos are becoming available. And until the next time, thank you.